Hello and welcome to Road to Influence. This is where growth happens one step at a time. Together we discuss new ideas, level up and see just what it takes to become stronger and better people. Thank you for taking the journey with me. Let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about time management. Maybe a little bit of a major topic of discussion for the second video, but I'll probably delve into it again at a later date, maybe after some further growth and have some new points and how it's sort of approached at that point. But let's talk about what I've kind of uncovered right now. So I guess time management is a whole bunch of different things for different people, but what it is as a whole is pretty much the same for everyone. It's essential for personal growth and productivity. Having good time management will just help with your everyday life. For me, time management I will put into two parts. One, it's the lazy side of me. I have a terrible lazy streak and it's just not getting things done. I'll push it to tomorrow or the next week or any time that is not when it should be done. And being really, really lazy is a perfect example of bad time management. And everything just kind of slips away. And the second part to that is having lots and lots of things to do. As of late, I've tried to take on more things and do more with my life in general. And I feel like when you do take on too many things, you don't really know how to consolidate and make it all work for you from a day to day. So those are the two kind of realms of my existence with time management. Laziness or trying to take on too much maybe. Let me know in the comments what your issues are and how you've approached it. And following on to that, time is a finite resource and how we use it shapes our success and our well-being. So with that, let's get into the first point, is prioritization. You want to identify those top priorities each day and see exactly what needs to be done and do everything you can to get it done. There's a cool 80-20 rule, or otherwise known as the Pareto principle. I didn't know what this was, but that's why I like doing these videos as well, as I've learned something new, and maybe some people know this one already or just learning it as well. 80% of outcomes result from 20% of the efforts. Pareto is named after the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, and he observed that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. So in time management, how that principle can apply is 20% of your tasks or your activities will tend to produce 80% of your results. So if you get the most important or the most integral stuff that brings the most value to your life done in that 20%, that will result in a majority of the results you need in life or what you're trying to achieve. You know, do a few of those high priority tasks and those will contribute most significantly to your progress. Point number 2 is planning your day. This is a big one for me and it's been hard for me lately. When you have all of these things that you want to get done, you kind of find it hard to focus on which one you should be doing because you want to get them all done, right? So planning the day has been a big one for me, trying to manage everything. Following on from that, the daily or the weekly schedule, monthly schedule, whatever suits your life and whatever you're working on. Balancing that work, rest, and your activities is really important. Make to-do lists, planners. There are lots of really, really good apps that help with inputting all of your life data and making sure that you're hitting all of your deadlines and everything like that. Break down the bigger tasks into smaller ones. Then it can make it more manageable. That's a really good one for me, is sometimes I can feel like super overwhelmed, like, oh, how am I going to be able to do this? When you have a goal set for yourself that might seem a little bit too major, if you break it down into smaller steps, it actually simplifies it and makes it so much easier for you to comprehend. You've got to avoid distractions. Social media is a massive one. Notifications, maybe have your most important notifications set where you see those. But a lot of the stuff can wait till the end of the day. Streaming platforms are a huge one. Obviously, if you're into a really good show, so be it. There's a lot of good stuff out there to watch, but what my problem has been is I will binge a show, and that's how they do it. You sit and you watch it until the end, and then there's a massive cliffhanger to make you watch the next one. You go, oh, I'll just watch another one. Oh, I'll just watch another one. But just control yourself and watch one episode a night, or 2 episodes a week. Whatever suits you and whatever your balance is. And depending on circumstance, sometimes you've really got to balance friends as well. Maybe you're hanging out with friends too much and your work-life balance starts to slip. Time blocking. Time blocking is really important. You want to have focused periods of time and you can commit to something without any interruption. Maybe it's hard for some of those ADHD folks out there. I know I have a lot of struggles with doing this and then getting distracted into this and then working on that and then going back to this one, and it can get a little bit messy sometimes, but it is what it is. If you can focus your mind on one particular task and see it through without any interruptions. The power of saying no is another great point. You've got to have boundaries. You've got to say no to things that don't align with your goals. Sometimes that might be really hard, and these kind of choices can get really complicated sometimes in life if you've got people close to you, friends, family, spouses, all these kinds of things that might affect your decision making. You've got to really be able to say no to the things that aren't going to align with the goals you're trying to achieve. That can cover so many things in life. It'll protect your time and help you focus on what matters most. Time management and self-care. These two things go hand in hand. Self-care and effective time management, like taking breaks and managing stress. I think I'm all good with the taking breaks side of things. I could probably take less breaks, to be honest. Maybe some people out there can relate. But the managing stress is a big one. You can get so in your head and you can be struggling mentally, and that's not going to help you get what you need to get done, because you kind of fall into these spirals and these traps of where you're at mentally and losing focus on the task at hand. So managing stress and maybe taking breaks might help you do that, or, you know, simple things like make a cup of tea or meditate, read a book. However, it'll help you balance your stress. Allocate time to relax, refresh, recharge, so you don't burn out. I haven't really hit that point yet, I'll be honest. I think my limit is quite low for what I feel like is a burnt out point, but I'm building towards being able to feel like, okay, that's not just a regular amount of work or a regular amount of stuff done. It's exceeded my own expectations. So you've got to allocate time to relax. Maybe that's in the evening after your day's done. Because I know sometimes it can be hard to relax in like the middle of the day if you've still got stuff to do later or this, that. Maybe put your relaxation at the end of the day or even at the end of the week. Maybe everything's so busy, you've got so much happening that you kind of just blend every day into the next one, which is a good way to live if you've got enough going on, and that's kind of how life is. Everything blends into the next day anyway. But you got to find those times to relax and to refresh and to recharge, or you will burn out. I don't really know what burning out is yet. Maybe because I don't do enough, maybe it's because I have a lot of energy. Let's go with the latter. It would be nice to get yourself to a point where you go, oh wow, I've done so much that I feel really, really burnt out. But you don't want to run the risk of making a mess of your current tasks or your life or your emotions and things like that by overworking yourself and having no refreshment and no recharge. Time management and self-care, as I said, go hand in hand. Accountability. This is a really, really important one. You want to be able to hold yourself accountable. I briefly mentioned that before, and also in other videos. It relates to all kinds of different things, but you really want to be able to take responsibility for what you're doing and hold yourself accountable. Because if you fail yourself, then you can't really succeed. So hold yourself accountable. That's mega. And then outside of that, you can have an accountability partner or habit tracking to stay consistent. Maybe have a diary or a journal or on your phone in notes. Having that other point of reference for accountability is going to help you achieve what you need to achieve and make sure you're not being slack and getting what you need to get done. You want to reflect at the end of the day, the week, the month, see what worked and see what didn't. And be honest with yourself. Tell yourself where you need to improve and go for it. So share some of your personal experiences, throw it down in the comments, and maybe help some other people out there. If you've got any stuff that I haven't mentioned or some stuff that's worked for you and some really good examples, chuck them in there so that we can all see. And tell us what works and what doesn't for you. And let's think on this. One habit we can implement today and continue to implement that will help us with our time management. Keeping it short, sweet and simple. One, because I don't know much, but I also hope that somebody got something out of it, because I definitely did, and it means a lot to me to be doing this and hoping that someone gets some kind of a positive input on their life because of it. So thanks again. I appreciate you taking the journey with me. Stay inspired, and I'll see you on the road to influence. How am I going to say that? Rambling, not making sense. Daily or weekly schedule. If you